All right, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to continue with the Halloween movies. We're going to watch the 6th entry, which is called The Curse of Michael Myers. Let's check it out. This is Jamie from Halloween 4 and 5. She's being led to on a gurney from someplace to someplace, and she's pregnant, about to give birth. She's apparently been taken by some cult. That mysterious man in black at the end of part 5 takes her baby.
When Michael Myers was 6 years old, he stabbed his sister to death.
This woman decides to help her and let her and her baby, who they named Steven, pays the price for helping, because there's Michael. And that poor dude outside ran into Michael, but she escapes. Meanwhile, back at the Strode house, little Danny,
no one's there, sweetheart.
his mother Kara.
He says things.
Remember little Tommy Doyle from the first film? Well, he's grown up now and he's Paul Rudd.
But I was one of the lucky ones. I survived.
Still lives across the street.
For people. I want you to come back to Smith Grove.
That's Dr. Wynn. And there's
You should know that it's not wise
Donald
to
Pleasance.
play Halloween pranks on me.
It's not.
a chase is ensuing. I think it's Michael going after her. Now she just hid the baby. Good thing, because Michael catches up to her. One final shove, but she has some parting words for her uncle.
You can't have the baby, Michael.
Well, who the hell asked you to come back here in the first
The
place?
Strode house. Dad's kind of an asshole.
Danny to school.
There's a short face around her own family for.
Michael Myers?
Is something wrong?
I just received the phone call. That girl, Jamie Lloyd, her body was found this morning near Haddonfield.
So Tommy Doyle is local weirdo. He's obsessed with the Michael Myers case. He's done some investigation and he somehow figured out where her baby might be hiding. And lo and behold, he finds it.
Michael's come home, hasn't he?
She is the last of his bloodline.
No, Dr. Loomis. She's
Pure evil.
What makes you think he'll come back here?
This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here.
And you moved us into this house. Your brother could never sell it because of what happened here, could he? And you knew. And you didn't tell us, John. Who is this?
Well, Loomis has warned the Strode family with good reason. Mrs. Strode runs, but she cannot get away from Michael Myers.
everything from that window.
Do you know how insane this is? Who am I supposed to be looking for?
Him?
Tommy finds some sort of connection between druids and runes and this cult
Coincidence?
and Michael. Jerk of a dad comes home and becomes the next victim. He then takes him and jabs him against the electric box and fries him completely. Our next victim. That guy's body then falls from a tree. This guy was just making love to his girlfriend.
He's right behind you.
And she's next. That's the girlfriend. Kara comes back to get Daniel, and Michael's still there, of course.
There had to be someone else. Who knew?
Nobody knew it except me and
Come to me.
Feel of the man in black,
Careful with the girl.
Dr. Wynn.
Where?
And I'm
He
asking.
wants to like clone Michael's DNA and then sacrifice Steven as Michael's last victim or some nonsense like that. Anyway, Tommy is trying to rescue Kara with a very slow. Now this cult is supposed to be in cahoots with Michael, but Michael goes nuts. They can't control him anymore, and he slaughters all of them. He's got some sort of corrosive acid or something in those needles that he's injecting into Michael. Weakened, Tommy's now able to beat the crap out of Michael.
I have a little business to attend to.
He's allegedly dead, and they drive off. Not sure what the last scene means, but there's the mask, and listen closely. All right, let's talk about Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. It's the 6th film in the original series, and I think it was also called Halloween 666, I believe. This basically picks up where Part 5 left off. There was some mysterious man in black that was apparently let Michael out of jail at the end of the movie, and then that little girl, Jamie, was running around. Fast forward, I believe 6 years later now, Jamie has been apparently kidnapped by this man in black, and she's about to give birth to a baby. She's being held kidnapped by some cult or something like that. One of the ladies in the cult, after she gives birth, basically helps Jamie and the baby escape. Baby is named Stephen, by the way. And they escape, and then Michael shows up, and he's in pursuit. She eventually hides the baby like in a bathroom somewhere, and Michael catches her and kills her right before she dies. She says, "You'll never have the baby. You'll never get the baby," something like that. So there is still one member of the bloodline left, besides Michael, of course. Anyway, Tommy Doyle, who was in the very first movie, is now grown up, and he still lives across the street, and he's played by Paul Rudd. And he has been messed up his whole life with this, but he's obsessed with the whole Michael Myers case. He does investigations on everything, and he's just kind of what you regarded as a local weirdo. Well, what's happening in this movie is, I guess, there's a doctor. He used to work with Dr. Loomis, wants Dr. Loomis to come back and work with him, by the way. Loomis is retired, Donald Pleasance. But this doctor, we find out later on, is behind it all. Dr. Wynn is his name. He's part of some druid cult or something ridiculous like that. They're trying to like clone Michael's DNA. I don't exactly know what their end game was there. They want to be able to control this evil or something like that. I don't know. But they want to sacrifice that baby, Stephen, to be the last of Michael's victims, the last of the bloodline, whatever. At the house, the Strode house across the street from Tommy's, Kara lives there with her son, Danny. Danny apparently has these visions as well of Michael and everything. Eventually, Michael comes to that house and kills everybody in it. Kara, the mom, and the son, Danny, escape, and they hook up with Stephen. I'm sorry, not with Stephen. Yeah, with Stephen, the baby, and Tommy across the street. And eventually, the Druid guys and Dr. Wynn and Dr. Loomis, they all show up at the same place at the house there. And they kidnap Stephen, Kara, and Danny, leaving Paul Rudd, Tommy, and Dr. Loomis behind for whatever reason, so they can, I guess, go rescue them, which is exactly what they do. They go to the hospital, wherever this is, Smith's Grove, I think it was called, and a big fight ensues. Now, Michael is there, and he goes nuts and slaughters everybody who's a member of the cult. Eventually, Michael and Paul Rudd face each other. Paul Rudd has some sort of corrosive in some needles, and he injects like 4 of them into Michael at the same time. And then he and the other lady, Kara, basically beat him to death with a lead pipe. Loomis shows up, and I guess they all got away. But as Loomis is about to get in the car, he says, "No, I've got some other stuff to do. You know, I have some work to take care of." So they drive off, leaving Loomis there. And the next scene we see is Michael's mask laying on the ground, and we hear Loomis screaming in the background. What does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean that Michael is alive and Loomis now notices that the mask is there, Michael's not, so Michael's is still alive? I don't know. I don't know. We never really find out what happened either. I can see why fans are fans of the Halloween franchise are not fans of this particular movie. Now, there are a couple of other cuts going on, like a theatrical cut or a producer's cut. I even think some people who make like bootlegs of these DVD-Rs have combined them into some things. I don't know. I don't know enough about the series to know all the knowledge in this. All I know is this movie, at least in this version, it wasn't that great. I think there was like one nude scene in there, maybe two, some gore. Michael Myers to me in this movie looked a little puffy too, like he looked a little not slim and trim. He looked a little beefy. I just thought he was a little overweight. It was interesting to see Paul Rudd in such a young role. I think he did Clueless like the same year this came out. Donald Pleasence did one final role after this one. I guess he was sick and not well at the time. I don't know. I don't know if this was the last film he did and the other one was filmed before that, but I don't know. But he's got one actual credit that came out 1 year after this one. But this movie was then followed by Halloween H2O, which came out, I think, several years later. Maybe not several, but 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure. But came out later and basically reset the whole timeline and everything because Jamie Lee Curtis was back in that one, I believe. So anyway, that is Halloween 6 or Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers. Again, I don't know what was going on in this whole druid thing, and Man in Black was never really resolved, at least in the version I have seen. If there's something else out there, I haven't seen it, but I'd be interested to know. So check it out. Leave some comments. I'll leave a link to something down below to purchase this, and let me know what you think about it. It's Halloween 6, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers. Watch it. Bye.